Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Matea Rentia, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome back to another Your Friday 5. I wanted to come back today to one thing, which is the importance of planning. I have had a lot of visits this past week with patients, and a lot of my patients had a really hard August. I asked everyone, why do you think that is? And everyone's reason was different. One of the most common threads, though, is that the summer tends to be a time when it's very stressful because not only is work happening and things like that, but then there's also a lot of flux as far as kids being home, or there might be travel with vacations. And there are just a lot of disruptive things that sometimes don't exist during the school year. But in any case, not everyone, but a lot of people really had a hard month. And so one of the things that I always say is, hey, so what's the one thing that we can do now going into the next month to make the next month a little bit better? Sort of something that we can start to build on or come back to. Every single patient talked about getting back to planning. One of them talked about, I'm going to write my food down for a day or two just so that I get some awareness again. The other one said, I'm going to sit down and with my family start to plan the meals again. Everybody universally realized that awareness needs to go up. And part of that is have the foods in the house that support me. Plan the meals that are going to support me. By the way, it's not ever anything crazy. It's 1 or 2 dinners that you can have ready. It's 1 or 2 veggies and proteins. There's tons of strategies, and we can go through all of that in the future. But coming back to having some awareness, this does need to happen. I don't care how well your GLP-1 medication's working. I'm so happy for you. That's all great. But if you don't have in the house proteins that are easy to get to, fibers that are easy to eat, if you don't have these things ready, you're still going to fail. So it's like that's so multifactorial for you to do great. And I find that it is hard when you're being pulled in all these different directions. And so how can you help give yourself more of a fighting chance? Planning. Planning also is going to decrease the dopamine hit that you get from that eating event. And this is something I way deep dive into in season 2 of the Behind the Curtain podcast. That's the premium seasons that drop. We've had season 1 drop already earlier in the year. And then season 2 now is dropping here toward the end of 2025. And it's a lot more about momentum and consistency and remotivating you and inspiring you. And really like it's rah, like let's do this, let's keep going. Because honestly, that's 99% of the battle here. But part of this, it's not having urge-driven eating because the dopamine hit is so high when you are tired and exhausted and frazzled and disorganized. And then you say, now I'm going to go eat some candy. It is massive, the hit that your brain takes for that. Versus if you the day before, we're going to say, you know what, every day I've been wanting some candy. I'm going to plan that in. It is so different. Number one, how much you end up having, your mental response to it, the hormonal response to it, all of it. It is so different. So I deep dive on season 2 in that. But I would say, I'm going to give you an example from my own life here. So recently I've been really into Gushers. It's a candy. I don't know if they have it everywhere where everyone's listening, but think it's a gummy candy. And I don't know why, there's just something a little bit kind of tart about it that I really enjoy. And I've just been really liking having one of those packs per day. And in fact, everyone in this house likes it so much that I've had to kind of like hide it because we got 2-3 boxes of it and it was gone in a day. And I was like, this is crazy. So I'm going to have to like ration this in the house. And I normally don't do this. I'm convinced the teenagers in our house had to have like 10 that day because it was, I came down this morning and I couldn't put one in my son's bag for school. He likes to have something in the after school program. They do provide snacks, but sometimes he likes to have things that he brings from home. And I literally could not find one. And the only way I could have one for him is that in my desk drawer, sometimes I have like an emergency 1 or 2 there. I had to go into my own stash. So that's a separate matter. But the point is, what I realized is if I don't plan, you're going to have one every day with dinner. What would happen is I would have 3 or 4. Now, these are little packets. They're about 80 calories. I think it's 10 grams of sugar. And the point is that it's a very different response when it's planned versus if it's impulse. It just goes so differently for me how I have it. I just want to throw that out there. If you have felt like August was a hard month, number one, you're not alone. I'm hearing this from everyone. Summer is a hard time. Everyone wants to be outside. Work feels overwhelming. There's usually just a lot going on. There's usually vacations and social obligations, you name it. It's all over the place. And now this is a really great reset time for you. And not a reset in a diet culture way, but just, hey, now we are here after the Labor Day weekend. Most people are back in school. Most people are back to regular work stuff. Everyone always jokes about that pile that you leave for after this holiday where you're like, I'll get back to it. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, you're like, I'm going to come back to that. Okay, well, this is your time. So can you look at, is there any planning that could go in? This is a huge thing that we do in 30/30. We're about to start our next round here. Oh, by the way, announcement. Next year, so starting 2026, I'm only going to do 2 rounds of 30/30. I'm only going to do January and September. And the reason for that being is that in April, I'm running a live in-person retreat, and I really want to support those people with calls before and after and really enhance their experience as well. It's a really small group that's going through that. And I can't run multiple programs at the same time. I really honor when people are in my program. You get all my attention. I'm in there all the time. I love the 30/30 group. And so I don't want to be running it at the same time when I have something else going on. I just don't have the energy for more than that. I do see patients clinically as well. And I want to make sure that everyone's really getting the best of me. And so if you were thinking of doing 30/30, like right now, we already have the September round is, I think, relative to when this is going to air, that next weekend, we're doing the orientation call, but we already have the spots accounted for and everything like that. And the workbooks and planners are shipped to everyone. But just know, if you were planning on doing the next one, we literally, as of right now, will have enrollment open for January. We always open it up early so you have time to get through all the videos, and then the live calls start in January. So next year, we will have only 2 start dates in January and September. And I always say this, I think things are a certain way. And honestly, every single year things flux for me. If that is something where you've been thinking of doing it, just keep in your mind January and September being the 2 start dates for next year. Okay, so anyway, so to come back to this, if you've been feeling like it's been a hard month, it's been a hard summer, this is your bugle call where you get to reset right now. You get to plan some dinners for this week coming up if that's your struggle, or if lunches are your struggle, you get to recommit to, let me try to prep some of these things if it's helpful. If that's not helpful, maybe your version of prep. I talked about this a lot in the past. When I was going into an office, I would bring with me on Monday morning 2 cut up apples in a bag, a whole thing of cottage cheese, a bunch of cheese sticks, few hard-boiled eggs. I had a bunch to pick from, and then all week I would eat on that. So that was a strategy often when I was just really tired and overwhelmed. Yes, it was this mega lunchbox that I would bring, but then I was good for the week. And that was a real way that I had great options for myself. I wasn't eating anymore what was in the break room, the 3-day-old donut, stuff like that. This is your opportunity. This is a great time of year as fall starts to happen, when it's the cleanup time. It's the refocusing, recentering. In 30/30, every Sunday we do a planning and reset call, because every week you need to get your head screwed back on. All right, so mark your calendars. Soon here coming out should be season 2 of the Behind the Curtains podcast. That's really about momentum, consistency, getting re-inspired with every single episode. It's actually 21 episodes, and so you can listen to one every single day. And the goal being that you could use it at any time when you feel down, you're not motivated, you need some words to pep you up, you need some analogies where it's like, yes, I remember this is a long road. That is what this season is about. It's not so much medical. I mean, of course, examples are always going to pop in there because that's who I am, but it's really that. And then when you sign up for it, you have the option, you don't have to, but if you want to also opt in to sign up for our December challenge. So it's a 21-day consistency momentum challenge. We'll start out the beginning of the month with a Zoom call. We'll set the stage. We'll have a 21-day WhatsApp group, and it'll really be about just achieving the goal that you're wanting to achieve, or you can follow what I have in the extensive PDF that goes with it. There's different versions of how you can do that 21-day challenge, but the reason you would want to join it is that you're part of that group where we're encouraging each other. I find that the community aspects of my programs are the best part. I mean, yes, there's always knowledge, but that's not the main reason to join my programs. It's because you want to be around people that are doing the same things, that are getting motivated. Like, we don't need to start January 1st with doing all these things. It's kind of like, look, start in December, have that running start to the year, Every year when I do that, I have the best years that follow. And there's something about getting prepped in December. If that's something that you want to opt into, again, we'll have all that enrollment going. And I'm really pumped because I have to tell you, this season for season 2, this was the next thing that I really think needed to be released. Season 3, I think, is going to be much more about overcoming some of the side effects like constipation and things like that on the medication. That's again going to be more medical, but there are just different things that I wanted to cover in each season. And so season 2 is really, how can you be consistent? How can you have momentum? How can you keep going? Most of you, this journey is not a year, it's lifelong. If we thought about this globally in the context of my whole life, you always need to be able to re-pep yourself up and re-get focused and just get yourself back on track. The quicker you can do that, the more success you end up having. I don't know if by this time we'll have the link out or not, but at least coming up here, it should officially release if it hasn't already. All right, I hope you have an amazing weekend here. Plan something for the coming week. Those of you that are joining me on 30/30 in September, I can't wait to get started with you next week. That marks the end of today's episode. But if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about, because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be rentiaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.